Who here has ever played, enrolled their children, or participated in a competitive sport? Or maybe even watched the Super Bowl just to see the commercials, but got hooked and ended up watching the game, even if it was just for a short moment. By the show of hands, I'm sure we've all been impacted by competitive sports. Competition has been something that has been a part of human history for thousands of years, and it's all around us in society. At times, the first thing that comes to mind when people hear the word competition really falls back on competitive sports such as American football, soccer, baseball, basketball, and many other different types of sports. Though that may have a major correlation when it comes to competition, everyone competes day in and day out. When looking into promotions at your job, you may not realize it, but you're competing with fellow colleagues and outside applicants for that desired position. When in school, at an early age, into adulthood, students strive to improve their grades and take on extracurricular activities to advance and get accepted into top universities, and then get ahead and get further in their desired career. When you look at it, even if you haven't played a competitive sport, you are unconsciously competing in your daily life. When looking into one's life, many can be compared to a hamster on a wheel. When you look at a hamster, the first thing that comes to mind isn't hamster food. It's typically the hamster and its wheel. Hamsters tend to get on the wheel within their cage and may start walking or running. The hamster then continues to go around and around with no end in sight. Like a hamster without a goal to attain, its life is as if it's on autopilot. That image of a hamster on the wheel can be compared to many people's lives and how it can be perceived. So to not be like said hamster, but instead to have a plan and a goal in mind, that alone leads to growth and opportunity. That separates a person from being ordinary to extraordinary. There's no growth if you run without a purpose. That is the reason why participating in competitive sports is so important and can teach us about life. Competitive sports can teach people not only about self-discipline, but social skills needed in everyday life. When competing in sports, it helps bring out the very best in a competitor and helps provide a goal for that one to attain. Competitive sports can help children and adults learn about teamwork, discipline, perseverance, sportsmanship, and respect for authorities and rules. In an article in the November of 2017 issue of the Odyssey Online, Haley Sal, an aspiring sports journalist and student at the University of Arizona, says, and I quote, "One of the most important things in life is to learn how to train yourself to know your own limits and goals, not only in sports, but also in life. Having discipline helps you achieve success better and faster." To end her quote, participating in competitive sports helps you overall in becoming better, not only physically, but as an overall person. Competitive sports also encourages good health. The term healthy competition isn't just a saying, but it's a proven fact. When participating in competitive sports, it helps release stress hormones such as endorphins to promote a natural stress reliever. Bradley Cohen, a former sports editor of the Ketchikan Daily News in Alaska, published an article mentioned on Livestrong.com discussing the positive effects competitive sports has on one's health. In his article, he mentions a study completed and stated the following, which states that, according to the British Parliamentary Office of Science and Technology, approximately 40% of deaths related to coronary heart disease are related to inadequate physical activity, obesity, stress, and raised blood pressure. Sports can help with all these physical issues, decreasing the risk of coronary disease by about 50%. I'm also a huge advocate for helping the young ones who definitely are our future. In an article completed by the Stanford Children's Hospital, it states 18% of children in the US have a disability or a chronic condition. Sports have been proven to help assist not only kids without disabilities, but those with them. We may not always win, but participating in competitive sports helps you address your faults and train to be better next time around. The saying, winning isn't everything, is a great thought to keep in mind. When you play or participate in a competitive sport, you learn that firsthand. You may never go undefeated, but organized sports teaches you how to cope with losing and helps drives you to be better. The comparison between life and sports ties so well together. When employed and or looking for employment, if you don't get that desired position that you've been attempting to get, you won't just get a temper tantrum and just walk off. Instead, you would dust, as they would say, you would dust yourself off and try again, aiming to be better and working towards your goal. So, to recap everything discussed, competition is everywhere. What better way is there to prepare yourself to enroll our children in competitive sports? Competitive sports helps teach discipline, teamwork, perseverance, sportsmanship, respect for authority and rules, and overall beneficial to our health. So I would like to leave you with a quote that I feel will help lock in the reason why competitive sports is so vital and how it impacts human society. Unfortunately, there wasn't an author listed, but it states the following: don't complain about the results you didn't get, but the work you didn't do.